recognize some faces from that video. One of the girls in the video was Jade, who's here today. Jade is a first-year event management student. She was in your position last year, although of course online. And she's also one of our student ambassadors, and maybe she's going to talk a bit about being a student ambassador. I'm not sure. And we've also got Katrina Denoux, who is one of our faculty. She's an event management lecturer. She's also one of our learning designers. She's the regional ambassador for tourism in Australia and corporate wellbeing and events business, which she runs herself. So she's a very accomplished woman. So thank you, Katrina, for being here today. So the way that we'll run today's session is Katrina will tell you a little bit about the degree, and then we'll hear from Jade, who'll tell you a little bit about what she's learned so far. And then we'll do a Q&A. So if you have any questions at the end, we'll have a chance to ask either Katrina or Jade or myself. So we'll welcome Katrina Denoux. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and first of all, thank you so much for your time to come today. Okay, event management. Why are you here? What is it about yourself that you think maybe you in a career? What is it? Is it your personality? Is it the fact that you like seeing other people being entertained, being educated, or maybe a little bit of escapism? What is it about it? Is it in the corporate world, in the business world, helping education in business, helping entertainment in business? Is it music festivals? Is it weddings? There are so many areas of event management that are here, okay? But you yourself, do you have that feeling of wanting everyone to be in one place, having a really great time, whether it's in a community or in a sporting environment or in a corporate environment? So are you fun-loving, organised? There's so many different aspects of what you would like to see yourself shine in your career, and what we can bring out in you within our degrees. Here's just a few of the careers that you can go into, and to be honest, through the pandemic and coming out, we can add probably another list of this on top of it now that we have things like hybrid events included. Various different types of delivery events, okay? So you've got trade exhibitions, you've got conferences, you've got fashions and brand, you've got communities and festivals, whether it's music or whether it's fundraising. You've got obviously your celebratories such as wedding planning, any of them. We cover all of these in our undergraduate degrees. Now, we also have the flexible learning options, okay? So we've got here, where we are, the castle. We also have our city campus, which is in the middle of the city. And we also have the online option, and also hybrid options as well, where you have the class being delivered and also online students coming at the same time. The great thing about us with this amazing technology that we have here is that you, as a potential event management student, have access to that and see how these technologies, especially since COVID, has brought out the rise of a whole new product and industry, which is the hybrid event career. It's huge, absolutely enormous. And we can get so many more successful launches, celebrations throughout the whole world. It really has become a specialisation in the international community now through event management, having this hybrid technology. The study pattern, okay, so you've got your first year, okay, so about 4 subjects. Term 2, 4 subjects. Term 3, 4 subjects. Each term goes for around 11 to 12 weeks, okay, then a couple of weeks off, and then the next term. So you have 3 terms a year, it's a trimester, okay? Second year is amazing. Jade, you're about to probably go into that next year, and you're probably starting to hear about it, but the connections that we have in industry to help you with your industry placement for your industry training is enormous. We've got partnerships with the biggest of the event management companies, whether it's corporate, whether it's hospitality, whether it's sports, whether it's fundraising. We've got the most amazing opportunities. And I must admit, a lot of our students end up working for those companies after they've finished their industry placement. So those companies really respect the professionalism and the graduate capabilities. Final year, come back, finish off a few subjects, having that experience of professional industry practice. Okay, so I mentioned just then a little bit about the graduate capabilities. What do we really work on here? Okay, we have active learning techniques. We have this continual assessment based and what we call a backward design. We know what you need in industry because all of us as lecturers are practitioners in industry. Okay, myself, I started off as a health practitioner. I'm not going to say how many years ago, but I've always been in the conference space, whether as an exhibitor, whether as a speaker, whether at working for specialist pharmaceutical and nutritional companies arranging these enormous congresses. Okay, so this is where we do a backwards design. We understand that what it's like to be in industry, and then throughout our degrees, we bring in our assessments and then the formative activities when you're in class to work towards these practical assessments, and then we know that you're going to be capable in industry. The assessments, most of them are very, very practical and what we call real world problem solving. Okay, so they're real world tasks that we find in industry to really understand what is going on in there. Okay, so as you can see there, okay, leadership, group work, problem solving, as I just mentioned a little earlier, lots of skilled collaboration, working in project groups, working again with industry mentors. Okay, so like I said, career focused, and yes, lots of our students actually have placements as the beginning of their careers after their industry placement there. I'm not going to go through all of these subjects, but it just shows you some of the subjects that you would be able to choose. Some of them are core subjects, which you have to do. Okay, and then as you get towards your final year, so you can see there marketing, you've got some of the tech subjects, you've obviously got the underpinning of our business subjects as well. Okay, so you've got a whole different range of them there. And then you have your work integrated training. And then at the end, you'll see some of the electives. Okay, you've got some really interesting, you can go into sports events, you can go into, for example, one of the ones that I teach is called the Customer Experience Management, which is all about the experience economy, bringing in education, well-being into any industry, bringing in a transformational experience, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in associations, or whether it's in like a large well-being event space. So you've got lots of different areas and lots of these little specializations that you can go into. Okay, marketing of events, all of that there. What we're very, very, very good at is helping you become the best that you can be professionally. Okay, we're pretty strict on this. We really do believe that you and how you are within yourself and outwardly is going to be to the prospective employers. So we're going to be helping you with that. Academic research workshops, being skill ready, professional presentation, resume writing, you would have heard that in the previous session if you were upstairs. And being a small boutique size classes, your lecturers are always there to help you network in industry. We've got lots of different networks ourselves, and we're here to help you the whole way. We're always in front of our students physically, okay? And that's the really exciting thing. Okay, the experiences you can just see of just a few of our industry partners, okay? So we've got lots and lots and lots of them who I know the students are about to go into work integrated learning for the next couple of terms have got the most amazing opportunities. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal opportunities coming on through there. Okay, and then the third year subjects, we have some fantastic capstone subjects. We also go a lot into ethics and sustainability. We understand the types of trends that our employers want in regards to governance, environmental, social. We've got all of those, and then lots more specialist electives there as well. I might leave that there. And how to apply, I won't go into that because we've got our specialists outside that you can chat to about that. But I'd like to hand over to Jade now, and you can hear from an actual student, okay? And there'll be questions for all of us at the end.
Hi, my name's Jade Wright, and I'm a current student at ICMS doing a Bachelor of Event Management, and I am in my first year. So a year ago today, I had no idea where I wanted to go or what I wanted to be doing. But then I heard about ICMS and I was really, really intrigued. It's the castle on the hill, you study by the beach, and there's always exciting events. And so I knew that the Manly campus is where I wanted to be. I chose ICMS specifically because of the events course, the subjects, the opportunities, and the experiences which ICMS had available for students. These factors are what made me decide that ICMS would be my first step into experiencing and reaching my career goals within the events industry. The events management course, it felt really tailored to me and my career goals from the beginning. Although I didn't decide that I wanted to go down the events route until pretty much last year, I heard about the Bachelor and I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything else. So I have been dancing my whole life, so I'm very creative and I've always been managing lots of teams of people. So I felt that events would be the perfect place to go. It has allowed me to explore my creative side and the subjects offered to me, such as event concept and design and introduction into tourism, hospitality and events. These two specialisation event subjects have allowed me to explore further into what type of events I would like to do and what path I want to go down when graduating. So I'm between designing music festivals and fashion shows for what I want to do, which I had no idea that this time last year. But after kind of experiencing these subjects and the event specialisation subjects, I've gotten a much better idea now. So we've also had the opportunity to do lots of excursions, which definitely helped in deciding what I wanted to do within the industry. So in trimester 1, I attended my first ever event specialisation subject, event concept and design. I had no idea what my career goals were going to be and what they'd look like. But now I finished my second trimester and already have discovered that I'm interested in event design for music festivals or fashion shows. And I hope to one day be working as an event festival manager or a theming consultant for well-known Australian festivals. Being able to do assessments which look at real-world experiences and theories has allowed me to explore my interests and options way further. The great part about ICMS is that I began the year with no idea what I wanted to do. And after just 6 months, I already have more of an understanding of where I could be in 3 years' time. And this is just because of the opportunities that ICMS has presented to me, and part of the course and the ICMS difference. I'd say that it sets our college apart from other universities and colleges. The application process for me made it feel like I was a student and not just a number. From the early entry applications to the professional scholarship application, I've always been asked about me, my interests, and my career goals, and why I chose the course. This made the process feel really, really personalised, and it's something that I believe that ICMS takes pride in doing for each and every student. This continued further when I began my studies as well, with lecturers asking me why I chose the course and what I was doing at this college. This then allowed them to relate all of the content that we learnt in class to each and every student. It made the content much easier to apply to your own personal goals, and it allowed each student to feel personalised. From the very beginning at ICMS, I felt looked after and seen, knowing that I will be guided into making the right career choices for me individually. The Event Management Bachelor course looks at creating unique, impactful, and special experiences for people. These experiences range from festivals, weddings, sponsorship events, corporate events, parties, product launches, and more, making this course diverse and flexible in taking students down any career path that they choose. The fact that this course was so adaptable and flexible, it allowed me to commit to this 3-year course a lot easier. I knew that I could take my bachelor in a range of directions and not feel like I was trapped. I didn't have to decide a job to aim for straight away, and I knew I would be able to find myself along the 3 years. ICMS offers so many great stepping stones in the direction of your goals so that you can experience the industry before graduating. The countless partnerships and connections which ICMS have available allow students to grow their professional and network and allows an introduction into the working life with possible future employees before graduating. The events course has allowed me to go to countless excursions, including Sydney Props and the QT. Not to mention many other events which we've been given the opportunity, such as Australian Fashion Week and Vivid. In my second trimester, my events class had the opportunity to have a tour of the QT, a hotel chain in the city which looks at reinvention and repurposing. When we were there, we were tasked with coming up with a new idea for the chain, a new business proposal, or an idea that would improve the hotel. The highlight of this was that it allowed us to think about the business side of events, as well as the creative side, the tourism space and the hospitality space. It allowed me to think critically, yet creatively, and reassured me I was doing the course for the right reasons. When visiting Sydney Props, I had a similar experience, where I was able to see the behind the scenes of designing an event space, and we were taken on a tour to see how events would work, how to design the space, and how to operate with other people. These steps taken ensure a successful event, and we were prompted to come up with our own ideas that could be used in new event spaces. Once again, I was reassured I had chosen the course that was right for me. Without these excursions, I would not have gained a better understanding of how events are set up or run in a successful way. But by having these opportunities to see the behind the scenes of events and how I can apply this gained knowledge into my assessments, and as I continue to study this course, it's valuable to me, as I now have way much more exposure to events before even completing my degree. Going to the excursion in Sydney Props and QT gave me a whole new perception of the events industry, and how many types of jobs there are available in events and how diverse they are from one another. Although I have found my interest in music festivals, I'm sure I will be learning so much more, and I may even change my career path. ICMS gives a great overview over all of these aspects, all the possibilities, all the pathways available for students, and it allows each student to find their own passion. When applying for ICMS, I knew it was going to be my passion and creativity which was going to be driving my learning. Thankfully, the event management course has allowed that. Not only have I been able to explore the creative side of events, I've also been able to explore the business aspects as well. This has allowed me to gain an understanding of many of the core business skills needed, including accounting, marketing, and the mindset needed for a business. ICMS is preparing me in all aspects so that when I do graduate, I have all the needed fundamentals to be successful in reaching my career goals. The core business subjects which I've undertaken so far in my time at ICMS have opened up my perspective about events, showing me the limitless possibilities on offer for careers and teaching me that I am not limited to just the design of events. I could be working as a conference manager, logistics crew, venue manager, or anything else within the industry. By having these core business subjects and event specialisation subjects as part of the course structure, when graduating, I will not be limited to what path I take or what career options I try to experience. I'm excited in coming years to choose my electives and gain more knowledge for events, as well as experiencing my industry training next year, gaining new experience and insight into the events industry and what life could look like when I finish my degree. By gaining industry training and experience as part of my 3-year course, the transition from studying within the industry into working within the industry is going to be overall successful. Although I've only been at ICMS for 6 months, I've already gained so many memorable experiences, such as becoming a senior student ambassador and working with the SRC. From meeting new people with similar interests to me and being exposed as to how events work, behind the scenes opportunities, and having a great network of friends. It's allowed me to feel really part of the ICMS community, a community which builds each individual up to meet their career goals and integrates you into the industry which you are interested in. Not only is the events course always exposing me to new and exciting things, the campus life which ICMS offers is unlike any other uni. It allows a closer connection with others who share the same passions and career goals with you, and it helps students getting into the collaborative mindset to work well with others, which is something very important in events. By having a great network of people to work with, once again, ICMS is setting each student up for success and for what their life will look like after they graduate, teaching us the right qualities we will need for when we graduate. Events are about creating memorable experiences with purpose. Similarly, my time here at ICMS has been very impactful and memorable in kickstarting my career goals for event management. And in 5 years' time, when I am successfully working within the industry, I know I will look back at the opportunities I have gained here at ICMS and be thankful I chose ICMS as the first stepping stone into reaching my career goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Jade. Isn't she amazing? All right, we have some time for some questions. I think to get us started, I'm going to ask the first question. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking about the impact of the pandemic on event management. So I just wanted to ask Katrina, she is one of our learning designers as well as our lecturers, how the curriculum has been impacted by the pandemic. Katrina?
Absolutely. It was, wow, this time 2 years ago, I think we had every one of our full-time admin as well as every one of our faculty working through the clock for 2 weeks straight to deliver directly online. We invested in technology, but not only just to be able to physically deliver the classes as we went into lockdowns, what we did at the same time was completely change our curriculum, which is phenomenal considering, you know, we're a mid-sized institution, but we're so progressive because we can change the topics as and when we need. So when something like a world pandemic hits and we saw every event either be cancelled or turned into an online-only tech event, we designed that into our courses for those actual trimesters happening at that time. We didn't have to wait for it to go through governance for a year's time. Our students learnt in real time what was going on in industry internationally, not just here in Sydney, not just here in Australia. They understood what international event management associations, companies were doing, and we brought that technology into our classrooms so our students would learn how to utilise those.
Yeah, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions for Jade? So I'll start then. Jade, next year you're going to go off for 2 trimesters and you're going to work in an event management company. Our work integrated learning team will find you an internship. Have you had any thoughts about where you want to work, what type of a company you want to work in?
Yeah, so I definitely think I want to work in a company that does kind of music festivals or other similar kind of concepts and designs. Really not sure where, but yeah, thankfully the work integrated learning will help me find that. So I'm not too worried because I know that they'll like help me along that.
Exactly. So in first year, every student does a subject called Pathway to Success. And they learn about basic business etiquette, how to set up your LinkedIn, how to do interviews, all that sort of thing. So Jade will be well placed at the beginning of next year to be able to go to interviews with companies, event management companies, and put herself forward for a fabulous internship. I just heard some great news. One of the girls that was on the video earlier, she was doing her internship at Dior, and she just told me this morning, she finished her internship on Friday. She just told me this morning that they just called her and offered her a job. So I'm just really proud of her. She's second year, she's now working at Dior running their social media. I mean, amazing for a second year student. Yeah, so anyone got any other questions?
Just on that, the internships, placements.
Yeah.
If we were to go into another lockdown, how did you cope? Did you delay the internships for those year students in the past that weren't able to physically go to a
No,
Yeah.
what would happen was that there would be the work from home component and they would still be welcomed into whatever that company had in regards to everyone working from home. So they still were given their role. It was just in a work from home environment, but they were still attending every meeting that they were supposed to. Obviously, if there was an actual face-to-face event, if it then swapped to online, they'd be part of the online hybrid tech team. But absolutely, and they're not going to just not do those 2 trimesters. They'll absolutely either work that, or if for some reason it has to be deferred because it was a specialist face-to-face role, it'll just be deferred out for a term. But I mean, we've had 2 years of working with that now, and no students ever missed out on actually having that work integrated learning component. And the opportunities now in the next 2 years are enormous. Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting times.
Our work integrated learning team are probably one of the most hardworking teams at ICMS, and during the pandemic they had to dig deep. They managed to look after all these students, even the students that were overseas. So some of the students that were overseas were still managed to do their placements with Australian companies. The world just pivoted to online. It became much more technical, and so all the event management students were still able to continue their placements, and they're now at a perfect place in their career to be able to work in an event management role, because they've had to deal with that. They've got their head around the technology, and it's not scary. They have had it in as part of their curriculum. They've learned the software. They know what they're doing now. Yeah, I think we've probably only got time for one more question. Any other question? Yeah.
With the intern placement, is it one company for 2 semesters, or do you have 2 different opportunities to see diversity?
Do you want to answer that, Katrina?
I believe it's the same company. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe it gives you that depth of being able to get into a role. I'm fairly sure it's the one company, but we just need to double check with the work integrated learning department on that.
So because there's obviously some interest in the work integrated learning, let me just quickly explain how it works. It's 2 trimesters, which is approximately 9 months of training. Usually it's in one company, unless a student particularly asks for 2 companies. It is a competitive application process. So if there's a great company with a great role, that it's an internship that's paying really well, there will be a bit of a competitive process for that. But every student will get their internship, and it is part of your curriculum, so you get credits for those subjects. So unlike at other institutions where you have to find your own internship, we organise it all for you. You do get credit for it. You have to do some assessments throughout your time. Your boss also has to do some assessments, and I know because we've taken on interns ourselves, we need to do an evaluation of our staff member. And a lot of the students end up staying with that same company because the company's already invested 9 months into training you, so they'll often keep you on part-time during your 3rd year, and then once you've graduated you might go back there full-time. So that's how it usually ends up playing out. Yeah. Okay, I think we better wrap up now and let you get on and go and get another coffee or attend your next session. But thank you, everybody. Thank you.